been in fires a lot. No matter how experienced you are, you got to have somebody on your shoulder telling you that, they're backing you, because you don't know. There are times when you say, hey, God, just get me through this. I'll be a good boy, and I'll go to church on Sunday. I'm going to take care of everything. Get me through this.
The battleground. It's very important to know the enemy is fire and how the enemy spreads, convection, conduction, radiation. And you got to know your battlefield. You're going to do battle on the fire ground, so you got to know the battlefield.
The best thing could happen to all of my people would they run into all of you. The whole secret of this business, I think, is to know your job as intimately and as interconnected as you possibly can.
The premier position that the workers in this room have put this service in is that we are the most popular service, we're the most accepted service, and we're the most trusted service. Now, the worst thing that can happen to us is that we get complacent and we don't keep agitating each other, and we don't keep asking the kinds of questions that we are asking here.
To be able to work at an occupation which brings tremendous personal satisfaction, and to enjoy the association with the marvelous people we have been privileged to work with, makes firefighting enviable to those sentenced to much more mundane walks of life.
Somewhere in this room, there is someone that will be up here on this stage accepting this award in the future, because this is the group that is the leadership of the fire service.
I think, like most people that have these things happen to them, they realize that they really stand on the shoulders of people who have gone before them, people who have stand next to them, and people they admire.
I would never have thought that my efforts to be a good firefighter, fire chief, and most of all, a good steward of the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation would have ever brought me to this point in my life. But it has, and for that too, I am deeply grateful to everyone who's helped me make it possible.
To the FDIC fire engineering family, and to my beloved friend, the late Steve Alk. As a team, there was nothing we could not accomplish in making this the greatest fire service conference in the world.
It will be all of you, the true leaders of the fire service, that keep the torch of tradition burning intensely, that will steer us through these turbulent waters and allow us to emerge an even stronger and more resilient fire service.
You're the best and the brightest the fire service has to offer. And I would encourage you to attend as many classes as you can. Take the knowledge you gain, bring it back and share it with your team, and above all, be all that you can be. Thank you, stay safe, God bless, and buckle up.
This award, it's a testament to a pursuit, a calling, a sharing, knowledge. We understood the phenomena of smoke movement through the stack effect, but we didn't associate that with fire behavior and the fact that if you were in a position of smoke and fire travel, you were in the barrel of a shotgun.
Mentor, train, share with everybody, make a difference. Love this job, and to anyone that doesn't, to anyone that disrespects it, show them the door.
This is a real privilege to do what we do, and it's a joy. I notice today sometimes when we get into the tactical discussions that it gets pretty bitter and nasty amongst some people. I think Bobby mentioned it this morning. Keep arguing, keep talking, but don't take it personal.
I'll never forget the sense of pride and thrill and exuberance that I feel when I see my name in fire engineering that has been published for well over 100 years. To all of you, thank you very much. And may God bless us and keep us all safe in our most noble of professions.
I'm not sure if I've met you yet, but you are out there. You might be Sam, you might be Samantha. I don't know who you are, but you are my replacement. You are the brother or sister that is stepping up to start carrying the torch.
Whether you're on the job for 1 year or 30 years, we all have something to learn, and we all have something to teach. Training is the most important activity for every firefighter, every company officer, and every chief. Our training defines us and has a direct impact on the level of service that we all provide to the people that depend on us.
And as much as you loved him, he truly loved all of you. So, here's to you, Bobby. Congratulations, you were worth it.
Once again, please welcome Chief David Rhodes and the daughter of Chief Tom Brennan, Ms. Eileen Brennan Kress.
Steve Chikerotis is a 44-year member of the fire service. He served a 36-year career with the Chicago Fire Department, where he oversaw operations of 7 battalions and 30 firehouses. He was a chief officer for 19 years and a fire officer for 28 years. Over the span of his career, he served in Chicago's busiest fire companies, battalions, and districts. He's been a fire service instructor for more than 35 years, including 4 years as the director of training for the Chicago Fire Department. He's been a staff instructor at the Chicago Fire Academy, the Illinois Fire Service Institute, Harold Washington College, and Rico Fire Rescue. He has delivered classes and keynote addresses at conferences throughout the nation, including 25 years at FDIC. Chikerotis is also a published author, currently working on his 3rd book. He also has worked in the television and movie industry for 33 years as a screenwriter, storyline consultant, technical advisor, and producer. Currently, he is a writer and producer on the hit NBC television show Chicago Fire, which is in its 12th season. Bobby Halton notified Chick that he was going to be the 2023 recipient of this award. Just a few months later, we lost Bobby. And we thought it would be most appropriate to honor Bobby with this award and present it to his family. Diane and I had to make the tough phone call to Chick to explain the situation and why we were changing the plans. I don't think we got past the first sentence in as we tried to explain. Chick was telling us that we should give the award to Bobby. He was more excited that Bobby's family would be presented with the award than he ever was about knowing he was the intended recipient. The grace, humbleness, and genuine big heart that I saw in that moment solidified for me why he was selected in the first place. So on behalf of Eileen and the Brennan family, all of us at Fire Engineering and the entire FDIC family, it is my honor to present Chief Steve Chikerotis with the 2024 Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award.
Please grab a seat, please. Thank you. Thank you. This is, I usually don't get too choked up. I'm pretty choked up here. To steal a quote from the great Lou Gehrig, today I consider myself one of the luckiest men on the face of the earth. I'm truly blessed. I'm blessed to be a firefighter. And I'm truly blessed to have worked alongside the greatest men and women in the world, including the people in this room. It's been my honor. I'm real excited. I have my family here today, my family and my extended family. My wife Mary is here. 2 of my sons, 2 of my 4 sons, Steve and Luke are here. My son Pete couldn't make it due to work, and my 4th son, David, is looking down on us from heaven right now. I have a nephew here, Jeff Northrup, that was recently just promoted captain on Hoffman Estates Fire Department. A host of friends, including from Chicago, including our fire commissioner, Annette Nance Holt, our union president, Pat Clary, and a host of others of my brothers and sisters. And from my television show, I have 3 of our actors. One of them really surprised me today. I thought he was out of the country. But I have Eamon Walker, who plays Chief Bowden, Miranda Ray Mayo, who plays Lieutenant Kidd, and Dave Eigenberg, who plays Lieutenant Herman, all surprised me and joined me and honored me by being here. You know, what's really humbling about this is receiving an award that's named after Tom Brennan. Tom Brennan is a mentor and a friend of mine that I've always held on a pedestal. And then to have the award presented by his beautiful daughter, Eileen, it makes it that much more special. Thank you, Eileen. And then when you think of the people who have received the award before me, many of you just seen on the screen, it's all iconic men that, of course, I look up to. Everybody in the fire service looks up to these great group of men. Inspirational, greatest leaders and fire service educators of my lifetime. And I can't say any more except how humbling it is to be standing here. And I can feel your father. I can feel Tom Brennan here right now, and I certainly can feel my buddy Bobby. He's with us. I'd like to thank Dave Rhodes and Diane Rothschild and the whole team that they have, the Fire Engineering FDIC team, for the great work that they do year in, year out, and they're saving firefighters' lives with what they do. In fact, Diane has helped me so much over the years, and certainly this year with organizing for my friends and family coming here. I don't know how to repay her. I think he doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to have to pimp out Severide. and Dave Rhodes mentioned how Bobby Halton had notified me. He came to Chicago a year and a half ago and told me I was going to be the recipient, and sadly it ended like it did. But now I get to follow Bobby Halton, and I would follow Bobby Halton to hell, but we know he's not there, so that's great because I'd much rather follow him to heaven. And lastly, you know, this morning I look in the mirror and I'm thinking, how the hell did you get here? You know, and I think there's pivotal moments. There's pivotal moments in all of our lives, and one that happened in my life that I think back on was Super Bowl Sunday, 1982. At the time, I'm assigned to a busy rescue squad on the west side, but I'm covering a shift for a friend on Truck 42 on the southeast side. Busy day. Now we're settled in to watch the Super Bowl. And in the middle of the game, a fire comes in a warehouse, bowstring truss warehouse. Heavy smoke on arrival. We took some work to force open the back steel doors. And now we're inside with long pike poles, popping ceiling tiles, and the engine company had let out a 2.5-inch line. And they're hitting this sea of fire that we're exposing up above. Now, as firefighters, you can appreciate this. I'm getting hit in the head with ceiling tiles, scalding hot water from the hose stream is raining down on my head, and I'm living the dream. But right then, my dream was broke up because there was this relief lieutenant, a guy named Benny Crane, went on to become one of our greatest district chiefs and a powerful educator and a mentor. But at the time, just there for the day, and he starts yelling, back out, let's back this line out. Well, I had a whole 3 years on the job, so as Benny passed by, I grabbed his sleeve and I give it a little tug, and I said, Lou, I think we're winning here. And he told me to shut the F up and back that line out. So I did, and we did. About 2 minutes later, maybe less, we're outside the collapse zone, safely off the corner of the building, and the whole building just slams down. And where we had been standing was just a pile of bricks and heavy timbers and flames rolling 50, 60 feet up into the air. That day, the next morning, 10 men, including myself, went home to their families because of Benny Crane's leadership and because of Benny Crane's knowledge. And this was 6 years before Hackensack, New Jersey Ford dealership in a very similar fire would kill 5 firefighters. That forever changed our education and the way we treated bowstring truss buildings. So I went to Benny when we got back to quarters, and I apologized for second guessing him, of course, and I thanked him for saving all of our lives. And he said, "Steve, you're a good, tough firefighter. You're really good with all the physical skills. You have to become a student of the game, and then you'll be able to do this for others." And that hit as hard as anything. And I did. And I started reading everything I could, starting with fire engineering and every book I could get. I went back to college. I attended every class I could. I went to the first FDIC in Indianapolis, I believe it was 1984, or Cincinnati in 1984. Tomorrow when I teach my lead from the front class at 10:30, I think it'll be my 26th year teaching at this conference. And every time that I come to FDIC, it really recharges my batteries and invigorates me, and I hope it does for you too. I hope all of you have a great conference, learn as much as you can, and take it all home. And listen to Benny Crane. Be a student of the game until the day you die. God bless you, and thank you.
We're going to do some pictures right here. Let's come right up here. Flip that around.